and welcome to another edition of the Property Show, your gateway to the real estate market. The real estate sector works in a cycle. Later on, I will be sharing a snapshot of the current market status. The property pick of the week highlights a collection of favorite neighborhoods for bargain hunters in the rental market. We will also catch a conversation unpacking the brand transition from Barclays Bank to Absa Group.
For the last 3 years, and in those 3 years we've affected the lives of 155,000 students.
Kenya Railways sharing the ABCs of freight services.
We have seen a shift in some of the cargo. One, people who appreciate efficiency in delivery of service are now happy with the Madaraka Express service.
The property news brings an interesting topic on the upcoming ISK Regional Conference Advancing Africa's Sustainable Development.
This year's event would be happening on the 13th to the 15th of November. We will be hosting the event at Radisson Blu, Nairobi.
The accessory spot is on flooring ideas, adding elegance, warmth, and a cozy touch in a home. And finally, an interesting renter's experience.
As a family, we decided that this will be the last renting apartment because we have embarked on a home ownership journey, which is at 50%.
Sit back, relax, and let's interact on our social media handles. As always, there is something for everyone. Market indicators in the last quarter of the year shows high demand for low middle income homes in satellite towns with affordable monthly rental prices and all amenities for modern families. Option takes us to Thika Road in the Kasarani neighborhood, one of the hotspots for bargain hunters. With Kenya shillings 50,000 a month, this development could be your home. It comes with spacious separate living and dining area, excellent finishes, large windows allowing a lot of natural light, plus security, water, and easy access to the main road. Here is a closer look.
Edenbrook Apartments is located in the fast-growing neighborhood of Kasarani along Thika Superhighway. This modern complex consists of 36 three-bedroom apartments with a plinth area of 130 square meters. Accommodation features include spacious separate living and dining rooms, laminate floor en-sitting room improving the aesthetics of the house, large windows allowing in natural light, a spacious kitchen that stands out with granite countertops as well as top and bottom cabinets for storage, 3 bedrooms, master ensuite. Other amenities include cobble-paved roads, street lighting, electric fence, 24-hour CCTV and 24-hour guard patrol for security, 2 parking lots per house, a borehole, a recreational park, and a modern clubhouse and commercial facilities. This project is in close proximity to Kasarani Police Station, further boosting the security of the area. The units are ready for occupation.
The Ndegwa area is another ideal neighborhood to consider if you're looking for modern rental units with competitive prices. In this blue zone area along Kiambu Road, you find a development very accessible, even for those using public transport. And when you think of amenities, Ditty Apartments has it all covered, from security, lifts, adequate parking spaces, gym, steam, sauna, plus much more. With Kenya shillings 50,000 per month, this could be your home.
Ditty Apartments is a development located in a serene neighborhood located 50 meters from Kiambu Road, approximately 1 kilometers from Kiambu town and 20 minutes drive to Nairobi CBD. It comprises of 48 units of 2-bedroom apartments measuring 93 square meters and 24 units of 3-bedroom apartments measuring 108 square meters and is dubbed as your apartment of choice. Accommodation includes spacious living room cum dining with a balcony, open plan kitchen fitted with MDF cabinets with granite countertops, fine interior finishes and sanitary ware, ceramic tile floors, master bedroom ensuite, common washroom and WC. Amenities include high-speed lifts, children's playing area, gym, sauna and steam baths, parking, perimeter wall and 24-hour security, and backup generator.
The next option in our collection comes with a 360-degree security solution in a quiet neighborhood along Naivasha Road. 4 Points Apartments. Here is a look.
4 Points Apartments consists of 2 and 3 bedroom units with 4 penthouses in a gated community. The apartments feature 2 and 3 bedroom units, a DSQ in the 3-bedroom apartments, spacious lounge, dining area, modern open plan fitted kitchens with granite tops, a utility or laundry area adjoining to the kitchen, master ensuite bedroom with built-in wardrobes and a balcony area, 24-hour security, a perimeter wall with electric fence, and main water supply supplemented by borehole. Other amenities include Cabra paved ways, ample parking slots, 2 high-speed lifts in the basement and ground floor. 4 Points Apartments are a stone throw away from the International Livestock Research Institute offices off Naivasha Road. The apartments can be accessed from either Wayaki Way or Gong Road. The apartments enjoy shopping amenities that include the Junction Mall and Naivasha Road Mall. Residents at 4 Points can also get medical assistance from Mid Hill and Melchizedek Hospital.
We head off to Syokimau, a hotspot area for bargain hunters looking for a family home to rent. Arthiview offers convenience, privacy and space. Let's see what's available.
Athiview is located in the upcoming Syokimau. The estate is 3 kilometers from Syokimau railway station and just 7 kilometers from industrial area and 18 kilometers from Nairobi Central Business District. Athiview Estate is a comprehensive, gated community providing carefree living with personalized facilities, designed to capture the simple core concepts of practical, modern, and comfort living. Athiview Estate, where you are assured of space, privacy, quality, security, convenience, and affordability. Accommodation includes spacious living room, comfortable dining room, kitchen, pantry space, doby area, visitors cloakroom, ensuite guest room, 2 bedrooms with separate bathroom, ensuite master, fitted wardrobes, imported sanitary fittings, and self-contained domestic quarters.
Another hotspot for bargain hunters is Kitengela Terraces from 25,000 Kenya shillings. These 2-bedroom apartments conveniently located could be your home. Here is a look.
Kitengela Terraces is a development designed ideally for exclusive and comfortable living and comprises of 40 exquisite 2-bedroom apartments set amidst tranquil environment in Milimani area, Kitengela, with the access road right opposite the Nairobi Women's Hospital. Accommodation includes lounge with balcony, large windows bringing natural light, dining area, open-plan kitchen with granite worktops, doby area, state-of-the-art finishes with attention to detail, visitors' cloakroom, and master bedroom ensuite. Salient features include perimeter wall with electric fencing and a guardhouse, ample parking space and adequate visitors' parking, cabro paved walkways, solar water heating, and borehole.
Let's shift gears and explore other rental opportunities available in the upmarket area. First, just minutes away from Westlands, neighboring a golf course, we find 3-bedroom apartments with facilities ideal for modern living, including a backup generator, borehole, water treatment plant, ample parking spaces, and top-notch security. Here is more. The icing on the renter's basket is my shoot location, Shiloh Riverside Place, dubbed the blueprint of contemporary living. Let me say we have been involved in this project from the onset. The groundbreaking ceremony, we have also brought our bus tour customers to this project, and you have all seen the show house on our listing. And the good news for me, construction is completed and are now ready for occupation. What I like here is the product. The units are spacious with a lot of natural light, a sleek modern kitchen with lots of storage area, piped gas, burner, hood, oven and microwave. I like the swimming pool too. This project is surrounded by trees and nothing has been left to chance.
Shiloh Riverside Place is a luxury project located on Riverside Banks Road off Riverside Drive in the upmarket neighborhood of Westlands. Shiloh Riverside Place, the blueprint of contemporary living, is situated in one of the most sought-after neighborhoods, Riverside Drive. It has 24 three-bedroom apartments and 4 penthouses. They provide comfortable and spacious living space. Accommodation includes foyer entrance, spacious lounge with dining area, guest cloakroom, open-plan fully equipped kitchen with ample storage, dobe or utility area, DSQ, 3-bedroom all-en-suite with fitted wardrobes. Master bedroom has his and hers walk-in closet, bathtub and shower. Salient features include electric fence, perimeter wall, 24-hour CCTV camera surveillance, 24-hour security guards, ample parking, gym, borehole, swimming pool, individual wireless internet connected in every apartment, and standby generator.
So what are the ABCs when looking to rent a home? First, location. Is the home in close proximity to schools, shopping facilities, and good infrastructure? Secondly, who are your neighbors? You don't want to be in a noisy neighborhood. Check to ascertain that you will have a peaceful time in your home. Thirdly, confirm your property of choice has all the facilities you need. All factors considered, it's important to sign a lease stating all the terms of your agreement to avoid disputes along the way. How much is the rent? What is the deposit payable and what does it cover? How much is the service charge and does it cover security, garbage collection, water, electricity? It helps to clarify from the onset. Next, the accessory spot with flooring ideas, adding elegance, warmth, and a cozy touch in a home.
Carpets are often decorative elements of interiors. However, not only are they excellent filling of an empty space, but can also make your rooms more friendly and cozy for your family and friends. The following tips are ways in which you can utilize the use of a carpet in your space. Carpets that are meant for the outdoors are often both decorative and practical. They can be used to cover a porch, walkway, or the edges of a garden. This type of carpet is normally made of plastic derivatives and must be waterproofed for the best durability. Outdoor carpet comes in a variety of designs and is often as easy to install as gluing tiles to a concrete surface. In small spaces, carpets that exceed the edges of the furniture can make a room appear larger, while in large spaces they tend to define areas with different purposes and to create an intimate space.
Do you need help to reimagine your spaces? Just drop us a line and we'll be happy to share some tips on this segment. Moving on, a conversation on the impact on the real estate sector, hospitality, transport, and the economy at large with SGR Madaraka Freight Services, and what we should be expecting going forward. Karibu sana on the show.
Thank you very much and welcome to Kenya Railways.
Asante sana. Give us an overview of the freight services and the impact we have had in Kenya.
In terms of the overview for the freight service in Kenya, I will take you back to the total cargo which is imported and exported through the port of Mombasa. Generally, we have seen a growth of cargo coming through the port of Mombasa, which has grown from 24 million 5 years ago to almost 31 million tons per year last year. This now indicates that for this cargo to be moved, there are various modes of transport. One is the Madaraka Express, which is the standard gauge railway. We have the old railway system, which is called the meter gauge railway, and we have the road transport. Few years ago, which is about 2 years ago, before the Madaraka Express started operational, 96% of this cargo was being moved by road. With the Madaraka Express coming in, we have seen a shift in some of the cargo. One, people who appreciate efficiency in delivery of service are now happy with the Madaraka Express service. One is because of the time it takes to deliver the cargo to ICD, and currently of the container business which comes through the port, we are actually moving on Madaraka Express 35%. The 65% is still being moved by the road. And of the 35%, there is still the last mile service which must be offered by the road transporter. When they arrive at ICD Nairobi, which is the inland container depot, they are actually transported by the road transporter to the final destination. So of the 35%, there is a share for the road transporter to pick also from there. In terms of the other cargo now outside the container, 99% is being transported by the road transporter, while we do about 1%. These are cargo like steel products, clinker, bulk cargo, grains, which is moving by road. We have also petroleum products, which are actually handled through the oil marketing companies. And this one is at 99% transported by the road transport. In general, railways offer what we call a corridor service. A corridor service means from one point only to another. For you to deliver the goods to the final producer or manufacturer or to the final consumer,
From the rail line?
from the end of the rail line
Yes.
terminal to the final, there is need for another mode of transport, and that is where the road plays a significant role. Even for the 35% we are bringing to the inland container depot at ICD Nairobi.
What are the main benefits of using the Madaraka Express vis-a-vis using other mode of transport?
The main benefits of using Madaraka Express as opposed to other modes of transport is one, the reliability of the service, the predictability of the service, the ability of the rail service to deliver bulk cargo, and again the speeds which we do currently, or what generally called in the logistics industry, the transit time required to deliver goods to destination. Madaraka Express delivers cargo from Mombasa to Nairobi in a record time of 8 hours. With that kind of speed, the cargo is safe and secure and delivered straight to the inland container depot without any bilferage and without any breakage. Those are the benefits which are actually accruing on the Madaraka Express. There is also another benefit, the cost of doing business. We are offering a price of 60,000 round trip from Mombasa to Nairobi and return of the container to Mombasa at 60,000 for a 20-foot container. This is actually competitive as compared to the other modes of transport. There is also another advantage in that if you have your 100 containers, for example, we are able to deliver all of them at once to Nairobi. Before the ship even completes discharging the containers from the port of Mombasa, your containers will be in Nairobi waiting for you to take delivery at the inland container depot. Apart from those benefits I mentioned, for us to move these containers, it is not the Kenya Railways who is actually telling people to bring the containers by force on the railway side. We are getting these containers on what is called through bill of lading. Through bill of lading is actually determined from the original port of loading. A container being loaded in China, for example, will be determined where it's going to be discharged, whether it is the port of Mombasa or the port of ICD, Nairobi, which is the inland container depot. What we get is that we are receiving 90% of these containers on through bill of lading, which is a willing buyer, willing seller to us. The customers are seeing us at our benefits of delivery, efficiency, and they determine that these containers have to be delivered in ICD.
Madaraka Express Freight Services is indeed transforming the economy with affordable, fast and convenient freight services. In 8 hours, you will have your cargo in Nairobi. Very impressive. We'll continue keeping our eyes on the SGR and the impact we see in the real estate sector, hospitality, transport, and the economy at large. We are taking a short break. Still ahead, an interesting conversation unpacking the brand transition from Barclays Bank to Absa Group.
In terms of some of the key numbers, so to speak, we are about 1,000 branches Africa-wide.
Plus much more. Stay with us. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back. This is the Property Show. Earlier in the week, I had an interesting conversation with Carol unpacking the brand transition from Barclays Bank to Absa Group. An interesting story. Let's listen in. Today we are unpacking the brand transition from Barclays Bank to Absa Group. Karibu sana on the show.
Thank you, Nancy.
Who is Caroline here at Barclays Bank?
Thank you, Nancy. Caroline is the Marketing and Corporate Relations Director for Barclays Bank of Kenya, which is soon to become Absa Bank Kenya PLC.
Interesting. Tell us about Absa.
Absa, fantastic. So Absa is a Pan-African bank. Yeah? We have presence in 12 countries across Africa, as well as a London office and a New York office. So that gives us both local presence, regional presence, and global presence. In terms of some of the key numbers, so to speak, we are about 1,000 branches Africa-wide, 10,000 ATMs across the continent, over 40,000 employees, ready to serve you, so quite strong. And in terms of assets, which is an interesting fact, we have an asset base which is more than double the banking sector in Kenya. So Absa Group is really quite a force to reckon with.
That sounds fabulous. Let's talk about your Kenyan presence.
Kenyan presence, absolutely. Kenya, we've been here a very long time. I would actually say that, you know, it's a bank that many generations of Kenyans have banked with. So we're approximately 103 years old, so a very strong legacy. We've been here serving across the spectrum, so dealing with our retail customers, dealing with business banking, corporate banking, as well as, you know, funding national projects, so a bank that is truly rooted in Kenya. And we've also trailblazed on a lot of innovations. So, for example, ATMs, we were the first bank actually. For Lariba banking, we were the first.
You were the first to launch ATMs in Kenya?
Yes. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Exactly. So there's lots of things that you know, we forerun in this country, and so our commitment now as we change over to Absa is to ensure that we keep up with that spirit of trailblazing and innovating. But beyond banking, we also get involved in the community. Some of the programs we've run are very much around the education sector. So there's a program called Ready to Work. Ready to Work has been operating in this country for the last 3 years, and in those 3 years we've affected the lives of 155,000 students. And the idea here is to get young people who are leaving university or tertiary education ready for the world of work, whether it's employment or self-employment. And so this is a free online platform. Anyone can get onto it right away and begin to go through the different modules. There's money skills, there's interpersonal skills, there's entrepreneurial skills, there's financial literacy and financial skills. So all these modules enable you, as you get ready to get into the world of work, to be equipped, because obviously you get the book learning, shall we call it that, when you're in the school, but you also need these other skills to enable you to transition into the world of work. So if anybody, you know, wants to log on to readytowork.absa.africa, it's a platform that you can open up right away and begin getting ready to work.
And it's free of charge.
It's free of charge.
And it helps you to learn what to expect when you get to work.
Exactly, and to equip you with the skills that you require in the world of work, because you'll find a lot of students coming out of school would struggle with things like interviewing skills, will struggle with things like budgeting when it comes to the first salary that they've had or they get. They'll struggle with things around time management, around you know, emotional management, emotional intelligence. There are all these things that you're not going to get at school, because school is not you know, some schools will have, you know, certain curriculums around that, but mostly the school is busy educating you from a technical perspective, whatever your area of study is. So this is where we said, you know, how do we intervene to equip these young people with skills that enable them to be successful, first to get the job or to start the business, and once they're in it, to grow, because a lot of that times as well, a lot of things are lost when you're in the job, but you don't know how to manage, like I said, time, money, budgets, emotions, etc. Over and above that, if you'll allow me, we've also invested in scholarships. So we've currently taken approximately 570 students through a scholarship program. Again, a very powerful program, because essentially we get involved with needy but bright students. So these are students who have qualified for uni but can't afford it. So we come in and we say, okay, let's get involved. So we pay for their tuition, we pay for accommodation, we pay for their upkeep, and we also equip them with a laptop. So this is one of my favorite things to do while I work in Barclays. It really does make a difference, this program, to those children's lives.
So where do you get these students from? From their schools? How do you engage them, and how do you interact with them, and at what point?
So we run this program through HELP, because HELP is you know, is an aggregator. So all the students that are looking for financial assistance will find their way into HELP. So we work with HELP to identify, based on the criteria that I've just described, which is that you're bright but you're needy. So usually these children will come from single parent households or orphans. They will, you know, we seek to ensure that we give a chance to those, because those are the most vulnerable in terms of financial capability for education, as well as we also want to give a a chance to persons living with disability, because again, that becomes a problem when you are having a physical challenge to overcome over and above the financial challenges that you have. And then we try and spread it across the country to ensure that we get proper representation across the country, and also gender, to make sure that we give both boys and girls a chance. So HELP is our partner, and that's where you would find this program and go through the steps in order for you to be processed to access the scholarship.
Indeed, they have solutions for everyone. You name it, they've got it. This conversation continues next week. It's time for the property news. The ISK is an organization of professionals in the land sector. Next week, they will be hosting a conference bringing together stakeholders across the region to discuss advancing Africa's sustainable development. Next, insights on what we should expect during this conference.
ISK is a professional institution bringing together land sector professionals, the valuers, land surveyors, building surveyors, land administrators. And we have an annual conference bringing together professionals in the sector, government officers, and other stakeholders in the land sector to discuss emerging issues in the land sector. This year, we have organized the conference on the theme of land as an enabler to Africa's sustainable development. So we'll be discussing issues to do with sustainable land management practices, changes in survey technology, land administration practices, emerging issues in facilities management that will affect Africa as it grows going forward. This year's event would be happening on the 13th to the 15th of November. We will be hosting the event at Radisson Blu, Nairobi. We are expecting to host delegates from the African continent, and we already have 20 African countries that have confirmed participation. We also have our members in the academia who would be attending the event, and a huge part of the delegates would comprise of our membership. So we also have property developers, financiers in property development and the real estate sector who would be exhibiting the latest innovation and products in the real estate sector.
The three conferences of the last 3 years have focused on legislative reforms, professional practice, and technology. On legislative reforms, we have been focusing on the issues that have Kenya and other African countries have been grappling with, and that is compulsory acquisition of land, how to regulate that. We have also been discussing management of public land, and also the issue of new emerging issues like sectional properties practice. And sectional properties is how do we provide title or title deeds to flats and high-rise buildings, especially in this time when housing is one of the big four agenda. We need to bring new regulations on how to provide title deeds to high-rise buildings. We have had a good response in the issue of, for example, the legislative reforms. The discussions in our conferences have contributed greatly to not only in Kenya but in other countries on land law reforms to make it the laws better and more efficient and the needs of today's society as opposed to the laws that have been overtaken by time. The other issue is technology and land survey. Surveying and mapping is one of the major bottlenecks to land administration, and technology has been improving greatly. The way surveyors can prepare maps is now faster and cheaper, and making land transactions and providing of title deeds much easier and faster. So there has been a lot of uptake of technology, especially in the area of use of GPS for land surveys, use of satellite imagery for mapping, and for infrastructure development.
This year's theme is land as an enabler for sustainable development of the African continent. The government of Kenya has developed the Big Four agenda, which rhymes with the theme of this year's conference. As professionals in the land sector, we play a key role in availing land for development purposes. We have affordable housing as a key pillar in the Big Four agenda. We have infrastructure developments, we have agriculture, and those are all land-based developments. As professionals in the sector, we play a key role in ensuring land is availed for development, and through this conference we will be discussing on emerging issues in land administration and governance that would enable sustainable development of the African continent.
The Property News segment is where we highlight events happening in the sector. If you're organizing and hosting an event that captures the heart of this sector, just give us a call and we'll be happy to shine a spotlight on that event. Next, lessons drawn from a renter's journey.
Like most people, rental journey begins immediately after college. Many people would like to have that idea when they come out of college. Immediately they'll secure employment and their life will just begin like that. But mostly that is not the case. For myself, immediately after college, I struggled a bit for 5 years before I set my foot down. I started out in a single room, a small Mabati house, where I was paying 1,200 monthly rent. It was a bit hard to find it by then, but I struggled along and I got my right footing. I would like to say that since most people look at graduates as if they can just make it in life just like that, but that's not really the case. So I would love most people who are looking at me back then as a graduate, since they saw me in a small Mabati house, and as time came by, I was improving, moving here to a good house, to a much better house. So it gives them a motivation to continue pushing on with what they are doing. I came across very many challenges along the way. For example, there's one apartment which I was living. We used to share our electricity meter. Like 2 or 3 houses will share one electricity meter. So it brings a conflict because when the monthly bill comes, you have to split it into 2 or into 3, depending on how many houses are sharing that same meter. Now in my case, we used to share with an old mama, and since I was single then, the neighbor used to think that I was consuming more electricity, and this also had an effect because you cannot bring in appliances, electric appliances, because the neighbor will feel like you are using more electricity, and when it comes to the monthly payment, you want it to be split into half, which is not the case. Then secondly, I will say that in another apartment, because later on I moved from that one, I went into another one. By 5th of every month, the agent was there knocking on your door, because even if you try to persuade the agent that maybe come tomorrow or maybe a day after tomorrow, he'll not hear anything to do with it. So I used to borrow from friends to pay my monthly rent by that date. Else, if you fail to pay by the 5th of every month, your electricity will be disconnected, because the agent had access to the electricity of the whole building, of the whole houses in the building. So he will disconnect the power and you remain in darkness until the day that you are going to pay. And also, sometimes when you need to bring in maybe a new furniture which cannot pass through the gate, you need to call the agent to leave the the gate open, and stuff to do like that. Those are some of the challenges which I faced along the way. I looked at my life which I was living, being a graduate, and I felt that it really challenged me into trying to save all the money which I earned into putting my life in order. So I came up with the idea that I can save 30% of all my earnings, which can help me to uplift my life. And the rest 70% I could use it to do other things. I lived in very many estates like Kaloleni, Bahati, Isili, and all those areas. The security is not good because we have very idle youth, and an idle mind is a devil's workshop. So the issue with security was not very good. So I decided to come in this area, in Kasarani, right now where I'm living, and the place is very secure because we have a police post just nearby. Then second, I'll say I'm nearer to the road because if one visits you using public means, he doesn't need to walk long way into reaching the house. Then you have the social amenities which are nearby, shopping malls like TRM, Garden City Mall, we have Naivas Supermarket, we have banks along the way, we have a hospital, St. Francis Hospital, which can cater for all your needs. Then you have constant supply of water, unlike other apartments around, because each house has a 2,000-liter water tank by itself, so that is enough to cater for the daily needs of any household. My favorite part in the house, I'll say it's the bedroom, because the bedroom is where most people spend most of their time, because after work, you spend the bedroom something to do with 6 or 7 hours, because also that is where most dreams are created. Your future is also created in the bedroom. So my bedroom, I've tried to make it to be comforting, to be welcoming, to be cool, so that when you just get into the bedroom, all the daily headaches calm down. And also I'll say the living room, because this is where you entertain your guests and visitors who visit you, so they have to feel that feel-at-home feeling. As a family, we decided that this will be the last renting apartment, because we have embarked on a home ownership journey which is at 50%. So God willing, 18 to 30 months will be out of renting apartments. My dream home is a 4 or 5 bedroom maisonette with large windows to allow natural light in. We'll have more natural colors because I love natural colors. So I'll take consideration into that. And also I would like to include a kids playing area into my dream home. And also for myself and my wife, we'll put a small jogging track where we can be doing the morning jog and maybe the evening jog. Because right now where we are, when you need to jog, the terrain is so uneven, which can lead to injuries. Also the vehicles are everywhere. So when you start, you bump into one, so it doesn't give you the morale to go on.
The real estate market follows a typical 4-phase cycle. Let me share a snapshot on the current market status. Phase 1 is the first or the last phase depending on how you look at it. This is the recovery phase, and this is where things are kind of depressed. Unemployment is at a high, new construction halts, and there is no public interest in the sector. It's generally slow, yet this is a good place for investors looking to buy. Phase 2 is the expansion phase. This is where we feel normal. New construction starts to pick up, unemployment begins to decline, and generally things are happening and the economy is humming along. This is a phase I can say we are in a good place. Phase 3 is the oversupply phase. This is where everyone feels like a real estate investment genius. construction starts picking up and sales are on a high. This is where we see supply eventually overshooting demand. And in my experience, I see phase 3 is where buyers can negotiate for discounts. Finally, phase 4. This is where we see less disposable income and high cost of real estate, which leads to less business across all sectors. And less people are interested in the sector, especially speculators. Prices typically come down, and this phase is what we call a buyer's market. Thank you for watching The Property Show. Next week, The Property Show heads to the Coast region. If you're a real estate stakeholder with rental and properties for sale, holiday homes and short stays, interior design solutions, or an industry professional, we would love to shine a light on you. Just give us a call. Till then, let's keep talking on our social media handles. As always, there is something for everyone. Kwaheri.